he said, kuna majob za wochi.
What?
Yes. Yes. With all the knowledge, with everything that I have, Penny akashika rungu.
Penny?
Yes.
Pregnant?
Yes, yes.
The day you entered the plane.
Yes.
What day is this?
October 9th. I forget. It was like a month after the bomb blast. That bomb blast happened, 9/11. Oh no.
It was a bomb after the World Trade Center.
Yeah, no. World Trade Center that time.
That means it's...
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. 9/11.
September
Yes.
11th,
Yes.
2001.
So a month after, that's when I get on a flight. Yes.
No, this 2001 or 2002?
2001.
Yes,
Yes, 2001. So it's about a month after. Yes.
Wow.
And there were delayed flights, and it was a different world at that point. Everywhere that you had a layover, you had security come in with guns, check your paperwork and all of that. Because my flight was Dubai first. And then...
Had you ever been on a plane before?
I had never been. First time ever. First time ever. You should have seen me. I was like a kid again. I'm opening the window. I'm like... Oh, we didn't have cameras then, so I would have taken many pictures, but I'm just super excited. I was wearing my African gear, I was going to meet a Mzungu at the airport on the other side.
And you're going to LA at this time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Walk us through this experience slowly.
Yes. So flight leaves JKIA. I land into Dubai. I think there's maybe 5-hour layover. Then I go into Gatwick. There was a transfer from Gatwick to Heathrow. So the whole time I'm in a shuttle, I'm like, man, this is a new world. This is a new world. I'm excited about it. It was rainy and cold and
like the UK.
Like the UK is a little gray. But I saw a lot of possible opportunities. Everything looked clean, and everyone looks like they were busy. Everything looked right. Then I take the next flight into LA. It was Virgin Atlantic, and it was a 10-hour flight. Again, I was sitting next to a woman who had been here for a long time, Nancy Kakera's sister. I'm sure she's going to watch this. And she told me how the experience in America is. If you focus on what you're looking for, you'll get it.
She's telling you this as your...
Yes. Because she was here, and then she came back to Kenya to do biashara, then she was moving back into the States. She was like, Kenya is not where it used to be. Opportunities are really hard to come by. And when you have an opportunity, it's just, you don't get the return that you need. Again, it's a different business area. I think she had a boutique or something, and it didn't quite work out. So she was like, I want to give my kids the best. And she ended up going to the States, and I've seen her kids doing really well.
So you land now into the States.
Yes.
With this advice that you've been given.
Yes.
Is it the land of opportunities?
It's a land, milk and honey. Yes. I'm landing. And I don't know if you ever watched, Coming to America.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking, Prince of Zabunda. I'm going to land in. I was wearing my African gear. I was ready. Hey, Good
morning, my people.
Good morning, my people. So I land in, and I'm a little tired and disoriented because of a night and day and all of that. And I'm like, hey, I'm supposed to go to this address. It was a non-profit as a bridging course, kind of like to get into working into, because with the UCLA, they were like, hey, you want to do this Relief International, it's a non-profit, still go to UCLA and do your other gig with Arthur Anderson. So I landed, I was like, hey, here's the address on Venice Boulevard. I'm like, let's call them. I think we called them, it was like on Friday afternoon. Everyone was out. So I was like, that was my only ticket to a place I'm going to sleep.
What?
And I'm like, okay, well, where else do I need to go? I looked at my pocket, I had $700. I was like, how much are hotels? It's $200 and something. I was like, go airport nalala. But when I was leaving, I also got numbers for a couple of people. Oh, my sister is here. Oh, my cousin is here. So I got number. So I went to the phone booth and called one of the numbers. Her name was Kawera, and she came to pick me up from a place called San Bernardino County.
Yes.
She was like, hey, she heard there's a Kenyan guy who's landing. And she's just coming to help me as I transition, because it was really far. It was about an hour away from where I was going to be working. Just for the weekend, then she'll drop me where I'm supposed to be.
Okay, I need to say this.
Yes.
When I've done the diaspora series before,
yes.
where I've interviewed different people from the diaspora, same format as
yes.
the CTA.
Yeah.
And one of the things that somebody told me, Waithaka, stuck with me till today.
Yes.
The person who picks you up from the airport, that is one of the most important things.
Yes.
Because it shapes your American view in an essence. So for you, it was?
Kawera, yes.
And she comes and picks you up. This is like...
And I didn't know who she was. I just got a number. I was like, okay, well, let me call the first number that I have on the list. You know, based on, hey, my cousin lives here. So I called that number. I land there, and she was like, this is what I do. She does nursing. Her uncle was actually a pastor in a church in, I forgot what part of town, but he was a pastor, and he lived well. They lived in a really nice house in San Bernardino. I was like, man, this is good. This is really interesting. So I'm getting used to the American dream. I'm like, you know, she took me somewhere to eat, but she said, focus on school because it's the most important thing. How she was doing nursing, or she was studying to be a nurse.
Yeah.
And she was leaving at odd hours. So I was sleeping on the couch, and she would leave and go like 6 p.m., come back again like tomorrow midday or afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing the whole time? She's working double shift.
Okay, wait.
Yes.
That day that you picked up, where do you go?
So I go to her place.
How old are you at this time, by the way? It's 2001, 70.
77. How old is that? 23?
Do the maths, yes.
Yes.
4.
24, yes. So I've tasted a little bit of what it is to live in campus and have a vision. Kind of like, hey, you can be like the kids that we saw. Like Kiara Brown was one of them that I saw at Uongozi. She was doing really well. She ended up working for BBC. She was really focused. So we were still now connected, now with a group of people who attended Uongozi from the States. So we knew what they were doing. Yes.
But I want to go back to this first day.
Yes.
She picks you up from the airport.
Yes.
And she takes you now to sleep at her house.
Yes.
Which is wonderful because the first day you've got shelter.
Yes.
You were supposed to sleep at this other place, but it was a Friday.
Yes.
So
I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
At her house.
At her house.
Okay.
But on Sunday she takes me to the church where her uncle is the priest, the pastor. Really nice guy. I think he was called Pastor Mbabu. And he starts praying and preaching, and he said, it's good to see you, young man. You know, that time I'm in African gear. I was like, as ethnic as they go. Yes, as ethnic as I can be. In that church, I meet a guy who was in high school with me, called Muniu. I'm like, hey, Muniu, niaje? Muniu used to talk Sheng a lot. Niaje, Muniu, poa. He still talks Sheng the same way. So we connect at that point. So you see, that's another connection point. You know, so I have Kawera, who's housing me in the interim, but I get Muniu. I get his number. Then I'm like, okay, well, let's continue. Muniu happened to be also with me in Sawa way back in the day.
What?
1987, 88.
Wow.
And then he came to Patch. He went to a different school.
Yes.
Then he came to Patch. So I knew him very well as a childhood friend. So now I had another connection point to learn from the experiences.
But you see the power. Imagine if she didn't take you to church and instead took you to the club.
Yes.
And even if you connected with somebody who was from the club, it would be still another connection place, but that's attracting you in a different side.
Yes. She also actually, an interesting thing, we went to the mall. I was so excited. The only mall I'd seen was Sarit, and the mall in Westlands.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, this is good. This is really good. So there were many stores in the mall. There was a store called Payless store. Payless store sold shoes that were like $16, $17 that were okay in Kenyan standards. But she was like, I don't want to be seen entering that. That's not my class. So, I want to be your class. What class is this that you're part of? You know, so I learned that there's also differentiation in America. Again, going back, she didn't take me to the club. She said, hey, this is an area that you don't want to be seen in Payless. No bad intention about Payless. It's a place where people can buy still good things, but at the same time, is how do you differentiate yourself in the new world? And the advice she gave me, Soma, focus on your school, focus on what's important for you.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is Sunday now.
Yes.
So Sunday now you go to church, you meet the pastor.
Yes.
You meet
Muniu, yes. Muniu.
Poa
Niaje.
from 1990.
Yes. Masanse. Makarao. Anyone who's in my ear knows Muniu, and he talks the same way. He drags his sheng a little bit. So I meet with Muniu. That's a connect now. I get his number. And then Kawera drops me off in West LA. I connect with the nonprofit, and I start. They were like, hey, there's a place where you can sleep. You know, we have a 3-bedroom house. You'll get one room, and I think it was like $900 at that point in West LA, like $900. More than the $700 to Lichangiwa. But I had something, a buffer, which was $1,500. But the other $5K was coming in the mail. Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, let me shikilia onto this. So Penny at the same time went to Kalamazoo College.
Bro, this is 2001. Your rent for a one bedroom. One room.
One room.
Within the house.
Yes.
You're paying $900.
Yes. Yes. And that's a thing that people never realize. When you go to that side, it's different. It's very, very expensive. So at that point, Penny, who had gone to Kalamazoo College, finishes her program, and then she joins me in LA. At that time, she's pregnant with Ken.
Hey, bro, you left out some details.
Yes. So, Penny left Kenya maybe a week or 2 weeks before me. I left October 9th. I think she left like September 17th.
Yeah.
There was a bundle of joy at that point. So she goes to a different direction. Michigan and California is about 3,000 miles.
Yeah.
It's Bali Kabisa. So she joins me at that point, and we're like a bundle of joy. Okay. So I'm still doing the UCLA thing.
What were you doing at UCLA? What did work look?
Now accounting. I'm finalizing because I've already graduated from University of Nairobi. I'm just doing accounting specialization. Because now here, if you come into America, the easiest thing to do is accounting, just finalize it as much as possible. I was beginning to now double up, instead of political science, with IT. My former passion.
Yes.
Back in the day.
Before UCLA, that other place that you worked, that you first joined, where Penny took you. No, not where Penny took you, where?
Yes, Arthur Anderson.
Yes.
Yes, I was still working there.
No, not even Arthur Anderson. Yeah. When you joined on Sunday, where were you taken?
The church.
After the church?
I think Monday, I was taken to, there was a non-profit that was supposed to help me in the interim while I transition.
What were they helping you do?
They do immigrant relocation. So think of people coming in from Somalia.
Yes.
Think of people coming in from Sudan. How do they relocate into the new world?
So they were teaching you what?
Yes, kind of like they knew I had skills. They were like, hey, come in and help in terms of our finance department. But at the same time, while we help you transition into the new world.
So were you getting paid then?
Yes, a little stipend, yes.
What does little look like?
Like $800.
Okay, could pay your rent?
It could pay my rent, yes, that's it.
Okay.
But hakuna chakula.
It's so important that we understand now why people have 6-7 jobs.
Yes.
So this place that you're working in the interim while they're helping you transition, all it can afford you is rent.
Yes, yes. At the same time, I have the gig for Arthur Anderson. Now I'm beginning to be present in the office because they have a big corporate office. If you know, Arthur Anderson went down with Enron. Enron was caught with malpractice as relates to that.
Yes.
So now I'm a little bit more present. I'm not remote anymore. I can be present. So I'm doing the nonprofit a little bit. I'm doing UCLA and I'm doing Arthur Anderson.
But UCLA is school.
Yeah, UCLA is school. Yeah. So you could push some of those classes. I pushed them to Sato and Sunday. I was like, I'm not going to be able to do them now.
Sato and Sunday?
Yes.
Sunday is a work day.
Bro.
It is what it is.
So when you step outside and you go to the new world, you got to hustle and do whatever you have to do. There's a baby on the way. I'm not making enough. I'm living with roommates, and these roommates are young people. So they're bringing their girlfriends in. Hey, sometimes you come to the living room, the guy's listening to loud music. I'm like, there's a baby on the way. So we need to rent our own place.
Which means you need more money.
I need more money.
And she's not working.
She's not, she's transitioning at that point, yes. She's not working. So here comes a group of people that we met, just Kenyans. Hey, what do you guys do? Kidogo, there was a guy we used to call Santa Monica guy. I think the dad was an MP from Kirinyaga. And he did, they sold Sogam Sake or something like that. He owned a company, but he had resources from home. He had done a degree in India. He had come to the States. He was kind of like teetering in, do I master? Do I kind of like, but he lived in a nice neighborhood. He said, kuna majob za wochi.
What?
Yes. Yes. With all the knowledge, with everything that I have, Penny akashika rungu.
Penny?
Yes.
Pregnant?
Yes, yes. She was a mall cop. She was the most beautiful mall cop ever. She wore a nice uniform. It fit really, really well. And she walked around. It was Century City Mall, is where celebrities kind of, hung out. Mimi, I had to do the same thing over the weekend. In between any time that I had, you had to hustle.
Okay.
You had to hustle.
Let's take a 2-minute break.
Yes.
We're coming. I want us to understand what the hustle looks like in States.
Yes.
Let's just take a 2-minute break, then we continue this conversation.
Yes, yes.